We don't know a whole lot from FP3. We do know that the Ferraris and the McLarens are fast and the Mercedes are not. And we know that the Red Bulls aren't, like, completely on top of it. So... yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's going back to back. He's going back to back. Well, it wouldn't be back to... do you mean back-to-back wins, Obi? Because obviously he didn't get pole, but... I mean... McLaren look good, don't they? McLaren look good. The question I would ask as well is, did anyone see FP3? Obviously, I didn't stream FP3, but Alonso went off and damaged the car quite heavily. Perez went off, but that won't be substantial damage either. But it will be to Alonso. So will Alonso be fined for qualifying? I suppose we'll find out, won't we? We will find out. I'm excited for this qualifying session. I genuinely am, because while Max Verstappen will probably pull it out of his ass and bang it on pole, because let's be honest, he's, you know, he's that guy. While that is possible, there is, you know, a lack of you know, it's not 100%, is it? We just don't know for sure. And it looks like the Ferraris and the McLarens are there or thereabouts. So... I'm excited. Genuinely excited for this qualifying session. Because hopefully we have a good qualifying session. It puts us in good stead for the race tomorrow. And that's obviously what we want, isn't it? So, we'll see. Let me put the broadcast. I'm not drunk, I promise. Let's put the broadcast on. Because I haven't got it on at the minute. So I can see if anything funny is happening. Like funny, haha. The last Premier League games of the season will be on tomorrow during the Formula 1 race as well, I believe. But I mean, as a United fan, we're not involved in that final day. Well, we're involved, but we're not involved. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was relative pace as well, but Mercedes looked way off the pace in FP3. Like, mountains away. Found it pretty odd. In fact, the RBs looked like they were there or thereabouts. That RB car, it's pretty handy, you know. It's pretty handy. Handy. So, we'll see. Do. Also, any good TV film on to watch this weekend? Anything interesting? Need something good to watch. Emilia Romagna. I tell you what, though, those gravel traps have been doing work this weekend so far, haven't they? So many drivers off into the gravel. I like it. It's old school with gravel that really punishes drivers, and I really like it. Afternoon, Tom. Hmm. Oh yeah, I love Taskmaster. I've been watching the new season, Affy. But yeah, I love Taskmaster. I've got a lot of time for it. As with any show like that, some of the guests are better than others, you know. But I've really enjoyed it. Yeah. Did anyone actually see what happened in the F2 race? I didn't manage to. I saw something happened online, but I didn't actually see. I saw there was a big crash or something. Hold on, let's have a look. There was a huge crash or something. I'm just watching the YouTube video quickly now. Oh God. What a cluster that was. Eesh. Yeah, it doesn't really bode well, does it, Tom? Doesn't really bode well. So where did? Oh, so what happened to Kimi Antonelli? He was in fourth. He didn't even finish in the top 10. What happened to him? Oof. So where did he finish then? Because he started fourth, and he dropped to 11th, and then just didn't get past anyone. Is that what we're saying? Oh, Christ. Right, Fernando Alonso will be out in time by the looks of it. Q1 has started. It is, yeah, Tilbo. Harry and Karoon are in qualifying. So not only is Crofty not there, but neither is Martin Brundle this weekend. George Russell on the mediums. What are my predictions? I'm predicting Norris, Leclerc, Verstappen. That's what I'm going with. And I'll be honest, I don't really have any conviction in what I've just told you, but that's what I've gone with. I don't have any conviction in what I just said at all. Charles Leclerc on the mediums as well. To tell you the truth, it is based on what we've seen in FP1 through 3. It's quite hard to judge where everyone is, and we'll only really know now when everyone goes out. That's when we'll know the real pace, and when, you know, the engines are all turned up, we'll see where this Ferrari with all its upgrades actually sits, and we'll see where that McLaren with all its upgrades from the last race really sits on a completely different track. If the McLaren is out front again and Red Bull are struggling, then I think we've got a bit of a good season ahead potentially for the next 6-7 races. So Max and the Red Bull have been struggling a little bit yesterday, more so yesterday than today. They looked a lot better today in FP3, but they always get it together. They always run lower engine modes and eventually get it together. So I'm fully expecting Max to be there or thereabouts, if not on pole. But I do feel as though the McLarens are up there and the Ferraris are up there. And so ultimately, I think it's just going to be down to who nails their lap, which is exactly what we want, right? What we want is teams to be reasonably equal, and it really boils down to who puts in the better performance. So we'll see how that works out. Tilbo, my dear? Well, so I know this, we've heard this a lot with Mercedes, right? But James Allison believes that Mercedes will be a lot better with their next big upgrade, sort of middle of the season. What he believes is they've now got the car in a better place where they can start adding performance. And listen, they've said it so many times that, you know, you can't really believe or accept what they're saying, can you? The bottom line is the Mercedes isn't as quick. Russell's actually boxing. That's weird. Yeah, I love that Tilbo. That's the meta, honestly. You see, Hamilton there on his lap was a 10th slower than an Alpine. Do you know what I mean? So lovely day here today, guys. So I'm relaxing with a nice warm cup of tea. Yeah, not a good lap from Hamilton. Mercedes were way off pace in FP3. Yeah, Sainz goes P4 with a 16.9. But Charles Leclerc's time is going to be quicker. Yeah, Charles Leclerc goes fastest on the mediums. Yeah, that's pretty handy, you know. Oh, he's in the gravel. Yeah, Albon went wide through the second Rivazza. It was going to be a good lap for him as well. Oh, he almost lost it in the second Ravazza. Does go first, though. 16-1. Yeah. Oof. It's bouncing across that curb. Yeesh. Max Verstappen now out on the soft tyres. He's currently 1/10 up from the first sector. Now it's the middle sector, turns 9 to 11 specifically, where they've been struggling. So let's have a look. Perez goes P2, 2/10 slower than Norris. Max is at 10th.5 up on Norris's time, though. So Max looks like he's going to put this into first. This will put Max on in P1 by just under 2/10. Oh, that camera angle's so good.
Can you check the car? Currently stalled on the curb.
Looks so good, the McLaren through Aqua Minerale.
And Lando, thoughts on the lap?
Pretty average.
So Piastri's currently a 10th up on Max Verstappen's time. He's looking pretty handy, Oscar Piastri, actually. Clean. Was it quick, though? It was. A 10th up on Verstappen's time. Ooh, hello, Oscar. Yeah. Oscar's looking pretty handy. He's looking pretty handy. I tell you what, that engine cover on the McLaren, on the Red Bull, and it's not just the Red Bull, by the way, it's a lot of cars have adopted it now, what Mercedes were doing last year. The bulbous engine cover just looks ugly, doesn't it? Because Red Bull have done it to such an extreme level, it just looks horrible. I think from certain camera angles, it doesn't look very nice. Like Mercedes had that bulbous. Russell goes P3 on his lap, 16-1. Only less than 2/10 slower than Piastri, and only a 10th slower than Verstappen. Interesting. Yellow flag. Gasly went up. Oh, no, he didn't. That was Gasly. We were on board with Gasly, I beg your pardon. Hamilton needs to put a lap in. Hi, Eddie. Thank you for the 57 months, Eddie.
Apparently you were doing something right, Captain.
Hamilton's 7/10 down again. What the hell? Hamilton's like 7/8 off. 6/10. I don't understand. Russell's in P6, a 10th.5 off, and Hamilton's got 6. He's half a second. Was a used set of tyres, but even still. Oh, it was Logan Sargent in the gravel. Shocker. Ooh, Norris goes P1 2 thousandths of a second quicker than Piastri. Oh, Alonso was on the grass. Oh, he's in the gravel again. Through the first chicane. He's fine. He didn't hit anything, but oh, yeah, Fernando Alonso. Yeah. Aston Martin have been complaining about like some of their simulator stuff not correlating to on track, and I'm wondering. I don't actually know. I'll have to look this up. Do they use Mercedes wind tunnel? Because if so, Mercedes have a real problem with their wind tunnel. Yeah, he ran wide on the grass. And they are, but I'm not sure if they've actually used it yet, Tom. It might be open, but I believe I could be wrong in this, but I think they might have been using Mercedes until theirs was ready. So this car would have been designed in their wind tunnel, in Mercedes wind tunnel. I think. I could be wrong on that. I'd have to double check my facts with that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's an absurd lap from Gasly, really. Like, where has Gasly pulled that lap from? How has he got there? I'm going to call it that Lewis Hamilton is going out in Q1. Yeah. Is it a boat or a tractor? Well, depends if it rains, CB. $12 for Albon. Well, Alonso went into the gravel. That's high, CB. I mean, Alonso will get in another lap, though. So. They're absolutely smashing over that final curb, aren't they? The curb of the final chicane, the Grezny chicane. Absolutely smashing over it. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Alonso's currently at... Oh, he's backed off the lap. He's back. Alonso's backed out of this lap, I think. He was a 10th down on the time needed to get out of the bottom 5, and then he backed off. For whatever reason, Alonso's really struggling. Joe Gran Yu, can he do it? Joe Gran Yu, no he can't. But he might be able to. Joe Gran Yu is currently in P19. He needs to... He is a 10th and a half up though, so...
If we go again,
Sargent is out. He's out on track now, doing a lap.
if you agree.
Yes, I do.
Joe Guan Yu gets knocked out 16th. Sargent goes 14th. Hello. Yeah. Oh, Alonso pitted. Alonso pitted. Hulkenberg goes P1. What? I'm sorry. I don't understand. Right, what about Ricciardo? Magnussen's pitted. Verstappen goes P1. Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo goes 7th. Hamilton's on the bubble. I don't think anyone is behind him, though. I don't think there's anyone behind him that can knock him out. I think they've all done their laps. Charles Leclerc goes P2 on mediums. Charles Leclerc just did a 15.6 on mediums. Sorry, guys, what? Where did Hulkenberg just find that lap time from? Has he cut a chicane? Hulkenberg just put it a 10th of Max Verstappen's time and a whole second quicker than Kevin Magnussen. What? Fernando Alonso didn't even get in a good lap and ended up pitting, and he's going to start last. I mean, I don't know what's happening. I have no idea. I think we're going to have to see a replay of Hulkenberg just skipping 3 corners or something. How has he done that? How has he done that? That's bonkers. Someone's going to need to explain to me what's just happened, because I don't bloody understand it. Alonso looked like he was struggling, didn't he? He didn't really seem to have the front end. He bailed out of well, he went on the grass. Then he bailed out of another lap. And he just couldn't get it hooked up. As we've said so often, Lance Stroll is just much better than Fernando Alonso, isn't he? You know? And we've said that. Oh, God. Do you know what? it's only funny because I do think Lance Stroll's bad, and obviously something's happened with Alonso. But bearing in mind, Alonso went off in FP3, if you didn't see, and put it in the barrier. They had to repair his car, but he was struggling all through practice as well. It wasn't just qualifying. He's been struggling. So there's something inherent there that he's not getting on with. Yeah, maybe Lawrence Stroll has gone, right, guys. I'm going to need you to mess up Alonso's car to make my son look better. All right, Juice. Oh, K-Mag had his lap ruined by a McLaren. I didn't see which McLaren it was. Piastri. I mean, he definitely blocked him. All right, someone explain this to me. Number one, where did Gasly pull lap time out of his ass in that tractor? That's the first question I want answered. Number two, where did Hulkenberg skip to get that lap time? Okay. Three, what the hell happened to Fernando Alonso? And four, I mean, what's going on with Lewis? Because Lewis looked really good yesterday. And now, today, way off the pace again. So what's going on there? Yesterday, again, this. I hope he hasn't messed with the car again, because he said he wouldn't do that. But if he's done it, Total Wolf's going to be telling him off. Because he has a tendency to do that. And yesterday, they were looking pretty handy. Both him and George Russell were really happy with the car. Their words. If he's changed something and it's messed him up, then he's only got himself to blame, hasn't he? Yeah, he was on softs, yeah. He was half a second down on George Russell's time. I've never noticed this before, right? But on the official timing screens on Formula One, why does it do that? Oh, never mind. On the official timing screens, it says KO. KO, like kicked out, but KO, man. I've never noticed that before. Do 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 do. Him and Lewis and George Russell out on the track. Well, Logan Sargent is actually going to finish he's going to start the race in 20th because he had his lap time deleted. So Alonso won't be last. Lewis needs a good lap here because, honestly, based on the pace he had in Q1, he's going out of Q2 if he doesn't improve. Hey, bestie. I think I said hello to you as well, Juice. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Chud, good afternoon as well. If I didn't say good afternoon. Yeah, Logan had his lap time deleted, so he's going to start last. George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, both out on track now, doing their laps. Yeah, it's what I don't understand. Yesterday, both Mercedes looked really good. Today, Lewis is way off the pace. And I don't really know exactly if he made a mistake somewhere or if he's just... It felt like it was just over the whole lap. Yeah, I mean, if he's made a change to the car going into Saturday, then he's a fucking idiot. Because he said he'd stop doing it. Because it's been ruining him for qualifying. So if he's done that, then he's only got himself to blame. Hamilton's a 10th down on Russell in the first sector. But he is quicker in the second sector. So Hamilton does go quicker than Russell on that occasion. So it's not like he was half a 10th down like he was in Q1 on the first runs at least.
I'm afraid we just got bumped to P16.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, 3 1,000ths of a second difference are pretty much the identical time. Lewis was slower in Sector 1. And George was slower in Sector 2. But Max, purple. I think they were on used tyres though, Mercedes. But Max is on new tyres. Oh, he is wide in the Ravazza. 15-3. Ooh. Ew. Yikes! And he lost time in the first and second Ravazza, so he lost time there. That is a fresh set of tyres, but holy smokes, Batman. Yeah, that's just set down a marker. Yeah, and Hulk just went quicker than both Mercedes. Sorry, like, has Hulkenberg put a rocket in the back of his car or something? Like, what the sorry? Where is this Haas finding pace from? I don't... Perez was half a second down on Verstappen, and Verstappen lost time. Oh, Perez was on used tyres. Max was on new. Okay, that does make a difference. Sainz is on a new set of softs. I wonder what Hulkenberg was on. I'd have to check if Hulkenberg was on new tyres or not. Hulkenberg was on new tyres. So Hulkenberg was on new tyres, yeah. He has raced here, though. No, obviously not in Formula 1, but he has raced here, yeah. They race here in Formula 2. Piastri, only 3,000ths off Max Verstappen's time. Charles Leclerc is also up on Max Verstappen's time. Sainz goes P2, 3 tenths off. Piastri goes P2, 2 thousandths off. Charles Leclerc, P1, 5 thousandths quicker. Yeah, it wasn't great from Norris in the second Ravazza. Norris only goes P4. So, Leclerc, Verstappen, Piastri and Norris separated by 1.5 tenths. We've got a qualifying on our hands here, guys. We've got a real qualifying. It is not a guarantee. Yuki Tsunoda, P2? What is happening? What's going on? I don't understand. I don't understand. What? The Ferraris were on new tyres. Tsunoda's gone quicker than Verstappen, and Verstappen was on new tyres. That's madness. I have no idea what's going on. And you're absolutely right, Welly. Mercedes are, well, at least one of them's getting knocked out. Probably Hamilton, because let's be honest, Russell's been better in qualifying this year than Hamilton. I think the last few races, Hamilton's been better than Russell in race pace, but honestly, Russell's been better in qualifying. Hamilton hasn't been able to put the laps together in qualifying. It's honestly been his biggest weakness. Used to be a strength for him, but I think if you could have Russell's qualifying this season and Hamilton's race pace, that Mercedes would have scored a lot more points, honestly. Because Hamilton's been good in the races, but terrible in qualifying, which has then ruined his race. And yeah, Piastri's definitely getting penalised for his for blocking a K-Mag or wherever it was. Now, yes, Mercedes were on used tyres for their run. So maybe 4 or 5 tenths, you know, from a new set of tyres? Maybe? Perez was on used tyres. The Mercedes were on used tyres, and everyone underneath Mercedes was on used tyres, but everyone ahead of them was on new tyres. So Tsunoda was on new tyres, Leclerc, Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, Sainz, all on new tyres. Daniel Ricciardo on new tyres. Right, Albon, currently sitting in P15. One of the Mercedes is going out here. One of the Mercedes is going out. Because Tsunoda, they're not going to match Tsunoda's time, I don't think. And Hulkenberg's been lightning quick. So, one, if not both of the Mercs is going out. Albon just on the cusp of Hamilton's time at the minute. Hamilton was the one leaving the pits, yeah. Oh, he's a little bit wide, Albon, there, but... Oh, he's just slower than Hamilton. So Albon's going to be 12th. If he's got enough fuel in, he can go again. I think he will get another go. Hmm. So, Ricciardo, new tyres. Hulkenberg, new tyres. Hamilton, Russell, obviously new tyres. Gasly, Ocon, new tyres. Albon's just done his lap. Lance Stroll, new tyres. Piastri, no, Piastri, not new tyres. Both Hamilton and Russell have to improve. Because Hamilton will likely lose that position 10th as everyone improves, and Russell is already in the drop zone. So both Russell and Hamilton need better laps. They can't have any mistakes. Two tenths up in the first sector for George Russell on the time he needs to get out. Hamilton is 300 down on Charles Leclerc's time because it works differently when you're in the drop zone. It's so bouncy. So Russell is half a second up on his time currently. Hamilton is 2 tenths down on Charles Leclerc's time. Hulkenberg is matching the time of Charles Leclerc. He's only like 2 tenths slower. This is going to be plenty quick enough for Russell, I think. Yeah, that goes P6. Well, I say plenty quick enough. I think it will be. Hamilton crosses the line and goes P7. I mean, again, 6 1,000ths of a second between Russell and Hamilton. Hulkenberg goes quicker than both of them. And Sainz and Perez are going to improve. So honestly, if Ocon, Ricciardo, Albon put in good laps, Mercedes could be screwed here. And they're only 3 tenths slower. Right, Stroll finishes P13. So it's Gasly, Ricciardo, Ocon that can... Sainz is in P9 currently. Ricciardo goes P9. He's dropped Sainz down. Perez is currently at risk. So is Carlos Sainz. Sainz goes 6th. That knocks Ricciardo down to 10th. Perez is still in the drop zone. Oh, Ocon's pitted. So Stroll and Gasly and Perez. Oh, Perez. Oh, he's out! Oh my God, Perez again! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, that's bad, isn't it? Oh, he lost a lot of time at the Grezny chicane. Yeah, that's not the most efficient line through there. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear, Checarino. Checarino. Yuki fucking Tsunoda in third, lads. What? 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 Like, what's going on? I mean, to be clear, pretty much the entire top 10 is separated by half a second, which in the grand scheme of things, in Formula 1 terms it is, but in the grand scheme of things it isn't a lot. The whole top 10 is separated by half a second. So we're talking, if you lose a tenth somewhere, that could be the difference, but like for Perez, from being knocked out and being 7th. No, actually, it could be the difference between being knocked out and being, 7th. That's crazy. Absolutely wild. Like, Charles Leclerc, a 15.328, then Tsunoda, a 15.358, then Norris, a 15.371, and Piastri, 15.407. Like, it's so close that literally one small mistake could mean the difference between starting pole and starting 5th. Which is, it's crazy. But ultimately, the cream of the crop shines through, doesn't it? And Max Verstappen is there fighting for first place. Just like we knew he would be. We knew he'd be there or thereabouts, and he is there or thereabouts. The question is, can Charles Leclerc or Norris or Yuki Tsunoda knock him off the perch? That's the question, isn't it? I bet none of you bastards had Yuki Tsunoda for pole, did you? None of you. You goddamn haters. None of you were thinking, bloody Yuki for pole. Yuki's the no. I'm just listening to Fernando Alonso. Apparently, Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc are going to be investigated after the session for not following Delta times. But I wouldn't worry about it 90%, 99% of the time when that gets investigated. It's nothing serious. It's usually they've not abided by the Delta time because they were moving out of the way for cars or something like that. It's usually thrown out. They just have to look at it. So Alonso's saying that statistically, Imola is the second hardest track to overtake on, next to Monaco. Now, I know that Imola isn't the easiest track to overtake on. I wouldn't have put it there, but that's quite a shocking stat, really. Also, it's pretty mad considering I bloody love Imola, but I'll criticise other tracks for being terrible for overtaking. I'll criticise a track that's brand new for not being good for racing, yet I'll applaud Imola, which apparently is terrible for racing. So, yeah. But I love Imola as a circuit. So it's tough, really. It's all well and good liking it as a circuit, but if it's terrible for overtaking, then it's no good, isn't it? Part of the problem is the size of these cars, though. It's not necessarily the circuit, it's the weight and the size of these modern Formula One cars. Back in the day, it was a great track for overtaking with the old generation of cars. So it isn't necessarily a track problem, it's a car problem. But still, you know, we complain about going to tracks that don't have good overtaking, but then we really want to go to Imola. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, Vegas as a race, it turned out really not to be that bad, didn't it? I mean, it was a bit crazy, but yeah. Right, Q3, boys and girls. Come on, then. Let's have your predictions. Get them in before a lap is put down. I mean, sadly, I think Max Verstappen's going to dosh it on pole, sadly. There's a very good chance that whoever starts first is going to finish there because, you know, as I say, overtaking is very hard on this track. Yeah, Max has just unleashed the beast. Max has just unleashed the beast. Norris does go quicker in the middle sector, but... I didn't feel like it was great through the Ravazza for McLaren, but... for Verstappen, but... 14-8! Ay, 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 caramba. 14-9 for Norris. Ooh, it wasn't even a tenth. He wasn't even a tenth slower. Sonoda, third fastest on a 15.4. Piastri, 15.1, so a good 2.5 tenths off. Doesn't look like Sainz and Leclerc are going to be able to match that time of Verstappen's. Yeah, Sainz only 4th on a 15.3. I'd have to just double check if they're on used tyres. No, they're not. Charles Leclerc, 15 flat. Just over a tenth slower. Yeah, Russell, P6, half a second off. Hamilton, a second off. Oh, he must have... He must have made a mistake there or something. He is on a used set. Max complaining about understeer on entry. Yeah, I mean, the car's terrible, isn't it, Max? So, I mean, Norris and Leclerc aren't far away. Like, Norris is less than a tenth slower than Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc is only a tenth and a half slower. So, you know, then it's not like they're all a million miles away. They're not. Max, as we said, just pulled a lap out of his ass, didn't he? Like he always does. It looked like he was nowhere in FP1, FP2, FP3. He's nowhere, and then just pulls a lap out as we expect him to, as he always does, and then boom. Let's grab some water before we kick off. Right. I don't see anyone doing a quicker lap than Max Verstappen now. To be honest. Max was getting very annoyed yesterday. In FP1, FP2, he was getting really pissed off, smashing his hand against the wheel. He was getting really angry. Yeah, Oscar's definitely getting a 3-place penalty. I say definitely, I believe so. So if Russell can sneak into 6th, he's probably going to gain a position from the Oscar penalty.
New tires.
Understood, Max.
So, final runs. Q3, Imola. George's going so slow out of the pits. I thought they stopped this, like... come on, man. I know other cars ahead of him are going slow, right? It's not really him I've directed that at. It's just, they've got to stop this going ridiculously slow in the pit lane. Look at all these cars still trying to get out. Both the McLarens... They've got to stop this nonsense. Yeah, basically, once they cross the pit lane line, they have a delta, a minimum time that they have to adhere to around the track. So if they want to create a gap to cars in front, the only place they can do it is the pit lane. But then it just stops other cars from getting out, and it's not a good system. All right, Carlos Sainz, we're on board with him starting his lap. Looks so good, this track, though. It's such an old school track. I do love it, but yeah, that stat about overtaking really surprised me. Oh, Sainz is already 3/10 down in the first sector. So Sainz ain't getting improving. Well, actually, Charles Leclerc's 2.5 tenths down as well. So it's not working for Ferrari. They're not going to match Verstappen's time. I'm not even sure Sainz is going to improve on his current time. Leclerc does go quickest in the middle sector. Ricciardo crosses the line in 8th. Verstappen's quicker than his own time. Yeah, Carlos Sainz finishes 5th. Does improve his time. Not by much, though. Charles Leclerc 3rd, a 10th off. But Max Verstappen's going to improve by at least a 10th. Yeah, he's a 10th.5 up. Oh, he's just a god, isn't he? He's just a god. Yeah, Norris is a 10th.5 down. It's GG. Max got pole. Well, we thought we had a fight, but Max said, nah. Max said, nah. Hold my beer. Lost a bit of time in the 3rd sector, but still. Norris is going to be slower, I think. Oh, only a 10th, though. Only a 10th. Oh. Oscar has a chance. Oh, no. Second Ravazza lost time. He goes P2. Not in barely a 10th. Hamilton and Russell have also not improved. So Hamilton's going to start 8th. Russell's going to start 6th. Russell out-qualifies Hamilton again. I think that's like
So we'll leave
6-1 now. Russell's out-qualified Hamilton. Hamilton's got to sort out his qualifying, man. It's just not good enough. Not good enough at all. Listen, Max did ultimately get pole position, but it was close. A tenth away. There are track limits. The track limits are the gravel. Piastri's definitely getting a penalty. Listen, I don't know what happened to the Ferraris in the end, but the McLarens, serious pace. Like Piastri's lap time, we thought Max's lap time was amazing, and it was. Piastri was 7,000 slower than it, so McLaren also had the pace. So, yeah. Could be a spicy race tomorrow, you know? Could be a spicy race. Yeah, you'll get a 3-place penalty. You'll start 5th, I think, behind the 2 Ferraris. Yeah. There we go. Qualifying. I mean, listen. I know if you look at the results on its own, it's like, ugh, another pole position for Max or whatever. But it was a very hard-fought pole, and it was very close. Wasn't it? So, you know. So the race, you know, should be pretty good. A little bollard, yeah. Right. There we have it. Thank you for joining me. I will see you all tomorrow for the race. I'll see you all tomorrow for the race. Thank you very, very much for joining me. And I will see you on the flip side. Have a lovely rest of your day. And I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Someone else if this is so